within this piece of wood is just absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Have you ever noticed if ancient petrified trees might hold the secrets of a massive, long-forgotten disaster? What if these stone-like structures were frozen in time by a catastrophic event that reshaped the Earth's history? As scientists discover more of the stories behind these fossilized giants, they explore clues that could change our understanding of the past. Watch to find out, and we will show you giant ancient petrified trees worldwide. Number 1. Devil's Tower. Giant petrified tree. Devil's Tower rises from the ground like a vast fist reaching the sky. This giant rock stands 900 feet tall, and its name alone brings forth thoughts of mystery and fear. Devil's Tower is unique because it's surrounded by flat land, and as you drive towards it, nothing else like it can be seen for miles. The tower's grayish-green color stands out against the browns of the land around it. Located in northeastern Wyoming, Devil's Tower was named America's first national monument in 1906 by President Theodore Roosevelt, who wanted to protect it because of its scientific importance. Since then, many have wondered how it formed, but no one agrees on an answer. It's made of volcanic materials, yet there's no volcano nearby, making it a mystery. Number 2. Giant sequoia petrified tree stump in North Dakota. A giant sequoia tree stump, about 5 million years old, was found in North Dakota. The wood turned to stone through a process called petrification. Petrification happens when a tree gets buried, often by a landslide or mud flow, and no oxygen can reach it. Without oxygen, the wood doesn't decay. Over thousands of years, minerals carried by water slowly replace the wood cells, creating a stone version of the tree. For petrification to happen, the wood needs to stay buried and undisturbed for a long time, with water slowly moving through the soil. The minerals in the water replace the wood, creating a detailed, colorful stone image. Different minerals create different colors, and the rings, bark, and parts of the wood all show up clearly if the process is slow. Number 3. Petrified Forest National Park, Arizona, USA. Petrified Forest National Park is a desert area in eastern Arizona, about 19 miles from Holbrook. It became a national park in 1962, covering about 146 square miles. Over time, more land was added, and now the park covers 346 square miles. The park is split into 2 parts, a larger southern area and a smaller northern one, connected by a narrow strip of land. The northern section is part of the Painted Desert, with colorful hills shaped by wind. The highest point is Pilot Rock, which stands at 6,235 feet, 1,900 meters. The park is known for its petrified wood, which are fossilized trees from ancient forests. Visitors can see areas full of fossilized logs like the Black Forest Bed, Blue Mesa, and Rainbow Forest. Fossils of dinosaurs and other animals from millions of years ago have also been found here. There are also ancient petroglyphs and ruins, like Newspaper Rock and the Puerco Indian Ruin. Number 4. Lesbos Petrified Forest, Greece. The petrified forest of Lesbos, formed about 18.5 million years ago during the Miocene period, is a fossilized forest created by volcanic eruptions that buried trees in ash, turning them into stone. The area once hosted a tropical mix of conifers and fruit-bearing plants, with fossils now preserving details like tree rings and wood structures. Among these, the tallest petrified tree stands at 7.2 meters, making it the tallest of its kind globally. Lesbos's landscape, marked by volcanic formations, attracts thousands of visitors annually, eager to explore its geological history. The island is home to diverse flora and fauna, blending species from Europe and Asia, including rare plants like rhododendrons. Ancient Greek philosopher Theophrastus first noted the fossils, while 19th-century botanist Franz Unger brought further scientific attention. The site remains an important location for studying ancient ecosystems and geology. Number 5. Puyango Petrified Forest, Ecuador. The Puyango Petrified Forest in southwest Ecuador is renowned for having the largest area of exposed petrified wood, primarily from the Araucarias family, a rare fossil find. Once a seabed, the forest now features both tree and marine fossils, with the area estimated to be 500 million years old. Tree fossils, aged between 65 and 80 million years, have been studied for their unique insights into ancient ecosystems. The forest is 360 to 500 meters above sea level, with an average temperature of 22.5 Celsius. Puyango is one of the last remaining dry tropical forests in the region. Best visited during the dry season, May to December, its steep slopes and ravines have preserved both natural vegetation and wildlife, including over 130 bird species, butterflies, and dragonflies. Living trees like kapok and cheba coexist alongside the fossils, making the reserve an ecological treasure. The site's preservation is vital for protecting rare species and the unique dry forest habitat. Number 6. Curio Bay Petrified Trees, New Zealand. Curio Bay is a fascinating place with a fossil forest that dates back to the Jurassic period, about 180 million years ago. Back then, New Zealand was part of the ancient supercontinent called Gondwanaland. The trees in this forest include ferns, cycads, and trees like the kauri and matai. The best time to visit is during low tide, and you can view the forest from a unique platform. Curio Bay is also a nesting area for yellow-eyed penguins, and during summer and autumn, you might spot Hector's dolphins in the waves. The fossil forest at Curio Bay was buried multiple times by volcanic mudflows and preserved by silica. Over millions of years, these ancient trees, which grew in a warm, tropical climate, turned to stone. Today, the sea has revealed tree stumps, logs, and fossils, making Curio Bay one of the few places in the world where you can see a Jurassic-era fossil forest. Number 7. Petrified Forest, Cape Bridgewater, Portland. The petrified forest isn't a forest at all. Long ago, sand buried coastal trees, turning them into stone. Today, we see hollow limestone tubes, called solution pipes, formed over millions of years by rain. Water would gather in the sand, dissolving the limestone, and the mineral-rich water hardened the sand into these pipe-like shapes. Most of these pipes at Cape Bridgewater stand between 1 and 3 meters high, but some reach up to 20 meters tall. You can easily visit the petrified forest by parking at the end of Blowholes Road. Nearby, the blowholes are rocky formations at the base of cliffs shaped by volcanic rock. The water shoots through these holes with a loud spray when the ocean swells. The solution pipes at Cape Bridgewater were created when rainwater seeped into the sand, dissolving limestone and hardening it into long, trunk-shaped tubes. Most are around 3 meters high, though a few are as tall as 20 meters. Number 8. Florissant Fossil Beds, Colorado, United States of America. This video has actual footage, but it was at multiple random time spans. In central Colorado, one of the world's richest fossil sites lies beneath a grassy valley. Here, you can find substantial petrified redwood stumps up to 14 feet wide and thousands of detailed fossils of insects and plants, giving us a glimpse into ancient Colorado. Florissant Fossil Beds National Monument holds these remarkable fossils, preserving a snapshot of life from 34 million years ago. This area was once a lake surrounded by various plants and animals. Over time, volcanic ash and debris covered the plants and creatures, helping to preserve them. The monument features large petrified redwood trees, including the famous Redwood Trio, a rare find showing a family circle of redwoods. Other plants like conifers and hardwoods grew around the lake, supporting diverse life, such as insects, birds, and mammals, including tiny opossums, rodents, horses, and even early rhinoceroses. The lake was also home to many freshwater creatures. The fossils are preserved in shale layers, offering a detailed view of this ancient environment. Number 9. Giant petrified trees of Yellowstone National Park, United States of America. Many people think Yellowstone National Park only has one petrified tree, but it has the world's largest petrified forest. These vast, fossilized trees are impressive and worth the visit if you're up for the adventure. To find them, head along Lamar Valley Road towards the northeast entrance. Look for a small parking area on the south side of the road, just west of the bridge over the Lamar River. The petrified forests in Yellowstone, spanning Wyoming and Montana, are some of the most remarkable and extensive in the world. These forests have intrigued scientists for over a century. In Yellowstone, layers of rock have exposed many petrified trees, some still standing upright. These trees were buried by volcanic ash and turned to stone, while new forests grew on top. This process took thousands of years. Number 10. Petrified Forest, Namibia. The Petrified Forest, 42 kilometers, 26 miles, west of Kurixis, Namibia, along the C39 road, features large tree trunks that have turned to stone. At least two big trunks, each 45 meters, 148 feet long, are present, and many more are nearby. These trees were likely washed downstream by a big flood and covered by sand. Without air, the trees didn't rot. Over millions of years, the wood turned into stone through silicification, where each cell became a fossil. The surrounding sand became sandstone, which is now wearing away. Around 280 million years ago, a vast river carried tree trunks from the north after an ice age. These trunks were buried in mud and turned to stone. Today, in the dry Damaraland region, you can see these ancient trees, including cordaites, ancestors of modern firs and spruces. Number 11. Jaramillo Petrified Forest, Argentina. The Jaramillo Petrified Forest National Park is in northeast Santa Cruz Province, Argentina. It was once a smaller protected area, but became a national park in December 2012, expanding to 78,543 hectares, 194,080 acres. This park features ancient trees turned to stone from a forest around 150 million years ago before the Andes Mountains rose. The park's climate is cool and dry in summer and cold, with strong winds in winter. Fossilized trees were first found in 1925 and included many large trunks and cones. Some trees are up to 30 meters, 100 feet long, and 2 meters, 7 feet broad. This park is famous for its high-quality fossils and is one of the most essential petrified forests in the world. Number 12. Gilboa Fossil Forest, New York, United States of America. The Gilboa Fossil Forest in New York is one of the oldest known forests, dating back about 380 to 385 million years to the Devonian period. It is found near the Gilboa Dam in Schoharie County and features tree trunks from some of the earliest forests on Earth. These ancient trees, called Eospermatopterus, were fern-like and about 30 feet tall. In the 1920s, workers found these fossilized stumps during construction. One specimen showed root impressions and small plants called lycopods. This specimen was displayed at the State Museum's old location, but had to be broken into pieces for the move to its new location. Frank Manolini and other researchers recently reassembled it and discovered new details about Devonian tree root systems. This new information will be shared in a future study. Number 13. World's oldest known fossil forest, found in Cairo, New York. Researchers have discovered the oldest forest, with fossilized trees dating back 390 million years. This forest, older than the 386 million-year-old Gilboa Forest in New York, dates from the Middle Devonian period. Back then, what is now the UK was part of a warm and dry continent called Laurentia, near the equator. In Cairo, New York, scientists discovered another ancient forest hidden in a sandstone quarry. This 386 million-year-old forest stretching over 250 miles, offers a glimpse into an ancient ecosystem. The discovery includes early plants like Cladoxylopsids, fern-like species, and Archaeopteris trees with frond-like branches. A rare lycopod tree was also found, showing the forest's rich plant life. This find reveals much about the early history of our planet and the role of ancient forests in shaping Earth's environment. Number 14. Kunming Stone Forest, Yunnan, China. The stone forest, or Shilin, is a stunning area of limestone formations in Yunnan Province, China, about 90 kilometers from Kunming. This unique site covers around 500 square kilometers and resembles a forest of stone pillars. The tall rocks here resemble stalagmites and petrified trees, creating a magical landscape. There's also a romantic local legend about a beautiful girl named Ashima who was kidnapped and hidden in these stone formations. Her brave lover, Ahei, fought to rescue her and bring her back, adding a touch of legend to this already fascinating place. Number 15. Petrified Forest, California, USA. The Petrified Forest in Sonoma County, California, is the only petrified forest from the Pliocene era in the state and boasts the most giant petrified trees in the world. The forest, now open to visitors after being damaged by the 2017 Napa and Sonoma fires, was formed about 3.4 million years ago when a volcanic eruption at Mount St. Helena turned trees into stone over thousands of years. The forest was buried until 1870, when a Swedish homesteader, Charles Evans, discovered petrified logs on his land. His find sparked scientific interest. By 1880, author Robert Louis Stevenson wrote about his visit in the Silverado Squatters. The land was later purchased by Ollie Bocchi in 1914, who worked to preserve and develop the site. Her family has continued to manage and protect the forest, ensuring its preservation and educational value. Number 16. Ginkgo Petrified Forest, Vantage, Washington. Ginkgo Petrified Forest State Park, also known as Wanapum Recreation Area, is a 7,024-acre park on the Columbia River's Wanapum Reservoir in Vantage, Washington. Petrified wood was first found here in the early 1930s, leading to the creation of this park. The park's fossils are from the Miocene epoch, around 15.5 million years ago. Back then, the area was lush and wet and full of now extinct plant species. Volcanic ash buried these trees, and minerals replaced the wood over time, turning it into stone. Later, floods from the last ice age eroded the basalt, revealing the petrified wood. The park offers camping and has 27,000 feet of freshwater shoreline. It is a national natural landmark and features a variety of petrified trees such as ginkgo, redwood, and maple. Number 17. Escalante Petrified Forest, Utah, USA. Escalante Petrified Forest State Park is in Utah, near Escalante and not far from Bryce Canyon National Park. This park features a high mesa that was once a floodplain. Around 135 to 155 million years ago, large trees were buried by floods. Over time, the wood turned into stone through a process where groundwater replaced the organic material with silica. Today, erosion has exposed these colorful petrified logs, which are different colors due to minerals like iron and manganese. The park has trails, camping areas, and a visitor center that showcases petrified wood and dinosaur fossils. The park opened in 1976, and a sizable petrified log was added in 2014. The colorful petrified wood here is mainly from conifer trees, which have been turned into agate and quartz over millions of years. Number 18. Petrified Wood Park, South Dakota, USA. The Lemon Petrified Wood Park and Museum is a roadside attraction in Lemon, South Dakota, off United States. Created in 1933 by Ole Quammen, a former mayor, the park features large outdoor sculptures made from ancient petrified wood. It also includes a museum built from petrified wood with various fossil displays. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1977, it was once claimed to be the largest petrified wood park in the world. The park and museum are open from Memorial Day to Labor Day and do not charge admission. As per the historical background, Ole Quammen, who moved to Lemon in 1907, was an amateur geologist and local lumber mill owner. He started collecting petrified wood in Perkins County, known for its fossilized trees. By 1926, he and his son David began planning the park, and construction started in 1930. During the Great Depression, the project provided jobs for many locals. The park now covers an entire city block and features an impressive collection of petrified wood and fossils. Number 19. Ancient petrified tree remains intact in Greece. Scientists on the Greek island of Lesbos have uncovered a rare fossilized tree with its roots, branches, and leaves still intact after 20 million years. This tree, found during roadwork near an ancient forest, is about 19.5 meters long and was preserved by volcanic ash that covered the island's subtropical forest. The discovery is unique because it is the first time such a complete tree has been found since excavations began in 1995, according to Professor Nikos Zouros from the Museum of Natural History of the Petrified Forest of Lesbos. The fossilized tree is part of the Lesbos Petrified Forest, a United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organization site, which was buried by a volcanic eruption 20 million years ago. The findings and fruit tree leaves and animal bones help scientists understand the region's ancient ecosystem better. Number 20. Fort Rock Petrified Forest, Oregon, USA. Fort Rock Petrified Forest in Oregon, United States of America, is a unique site with ancient fossilized trees. This tough ring, located on an Ice Age lakebed in North Lake County, Oregon, measures about 4,460 feet in diameter and stands 200 feet high. Its name comes from its tall, straight sides resembling a fort's palisades. The area has about 40 similar tuff rings and maars and sits in the Brothers Fault Zone of Central Oregon's Great Basin. Fort Rock was formed when magma from basalt rose to the surface and met the lake's wet mud. This caused steam explosions, which blew molten basalt into the air, creating a ring of volcanic ash and lava particles around the vent. Over time, waves from the lake eroded the ring, forming terraces on the south side and revealing the fossilized trees. Number 21. Jugurtha Tableland. The Jugurtha Tableland is a sizable flat-topped mesa near Calates Senam, Tunisia, rising almost 600 meters, 2,000 feet, above the surrounding plain. It stretches about 1,500 meters, 4,900 feet long, and 500 meters, 1,600 feet wide, covering nearly 80 hectares. This mesa is an inverted relief. Millions of years ago, its hard limestone top was the bottom of a valley. Erosion wore away the softer surrounding hills, leaving the mesa as the highest point on the plain. Due to its height and steep walls, the mesa has been used as a fortress, making it hard for enemies to attack. Legend says King Massinissa of Numidia built the first fortress around 200 before Christ. Later, King Jugurtha used it to defend against the Romans from 112 to 105 before Christ. In the 18th century, a local leader named Sinan rebuilt the fortress. The top offers stunning views over the countryside, including hills across the border in Algeria. Number 22. Giant ancient baobab trees, Madagascar. The baobab tree, genus Adansonia, is a unique tree known for its large barrel-shaped trunk and long lifespan. 9 species of baobabs exist. 6 are found only in Madagascar, 2 in Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, and 1 in Australia. These trees are famous for their unusual shape and important uses in local cultures. The African baobab, Adansonia digitata, known as the tree of life, can live for over 1,200 years. It grows in dry regions of Africa and has a trunk that stores water, sometimes reaching 30 feet wide and 59 feet tall. Older baobabs have hollow trunks formed from multiple stems merging. Bats pollinate their flowers, and small animals called bush babies. The baobab's leaves are edible, and its large fruit contains a tasty pulp for a refreshing drink. Climate change has recently affected many of these ancient trees. Number 23. Giant sequoia trees. Giant sequoias are enormous trees with striking red or orange bark, standing tall among other trees' gray and brown bark. Looking up at their massive trunks, you might see their tops hidden high in the sky. If you listen carefully, you might hear the soft rustling of the leaves or a woodpecker tapping on a tree. Walking through these forests, you can touch the thick, spongy bark of a sequoia and take in the beauty of the trees, plants, and animals around them. Giant sequoias grow on the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada. They can live up to 3,400 years and help scientists study past climates and fires. Once widespread, giant sequoias are now found in about 73 groves in California. The first famous sequoia, the Discovery Tree, was cut down in 1853 and was 144 years old. Its stump was so big it was used as a dance floor. Number 24. Hyperion, California. Hyperion is the tallest living tree in the world. It is a coast redwood, Sequoia sempervirens in California, standing 115.92 meters, 380.3 feet tall. Naturalists Chris Atkins and Michael Taylor discovered it on August 25, 2006. It was later measured at 115.55 meters, 379.1 feet, and again at 116.07 meters, 380.8 feet in 2019. The tree is located in Redwood National Park, also home to the second, fourth, and fifth tallest redwoods, Helios, Icarus, and Daedalus. Hyperion is estimated to be between 600 and 800 years old and has a trunk diameter of 4.94 meters, 16 feet 2.5 inches. It contains about 530 cubic meters, 18,600 cubic feet of wood, and has the world's deepest crown at 90.9 meters, 298 feet, 2.7 inches. The exact location of Hyperion is kept secret to protect it, as most of the surrounding area has been logged. Number 25. Old Chico, Norway spruce, Sweden. Old Chico is a Norway spruce tree in Sweden, estimated to be about 566 years old. Though it became the world's oldest tree, it's a clonal tree. This means it has grown new trunks, branches, and roots over thousands of years, not staying the same individual tree. Its current trunk is only a few hundred years old, but its root system has been alive since the last ice age. The tree stands 5 meters, 16 feet tall, and is located in Fullafjellet National Park. Scientists discovered its age by carbon dating its roots, not by counting rings, which doesn't work for clonal trees. Old Chico likely started as a small shrub and only grew into a tree when the climate became warmer. Researchers discovered around 20 other spruce trees in the same area, all more than 8,000 years old. Let's take a moment to admire the dedication of scientists and researchers who work tirelessly to unlock the secrets behind ancient petrified trees. Their findings enhance our curiosity and help us understand Earth's hidden past. These fossilized trees, preserved for millions of years, could hold clues to catastrophic events that reshaped our planet. Each discovery gives us an insight into the forces that shaped history. So let's continue exploring and questioning these ancient wonders. The past has many untold stories, and who knows what incredible truths we'll uncover about these ancient giants next.